Welcome to the Will and Tom Show with me, Will, and...
me, Tom.
So, this is different, isn't it?
This is very different. This is very weird, but I think it's a first. Maybe it's also a first in broadcasting history. I don't know.
Oh, of course you have phone recordings. Let's first explain what our first would be. I think people don't get it. Maybe this episode, of course, will be about long-distance relationships.
Yes.
And this was actually a bit of an improvised episode because I'm saying a lot because it feels weird. The thing is, I'm sitting in the Netherlands right now at my parents' place, and Tom is around 500 kilometers away.
Something like that, yeah.
And we are recording on long distance.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is quite interesting.
It is weird because I can't see you.
Yeah, we have switched off the webcams to make sure that the connection is a bit better.
Yeah.
That shouldn't actually make that much of a difference, but I know that
it sometimes does.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's programs, they don't take it well.
Yeah.
So to assure that you have a high quality podcast, you listeners, or at least the quality of the sound is high quality.
Yeah.
So that's this episode. I mean, it's interesting, definitely, because I feel it's more difficult not being able to see each other when you're talking to each other.
I think it is going to be less funny than stuff we've done before, because I think we kind of need to see each other's faces to be funny.
Yeah, maybe. And I don't know if there's a delay even. It could be that we're 1 second late or something.
Could be, yeah.
But that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, of course, we won't... I posted on Facebook that I bought a present for Tom.
Yep.
And I bought that here because I saw it and I thought, oh, that's perfect. This is absolutely something for Tom that he needs to have.
I have seen it already, but it is wrapped. So
yeah, he's seen it wrapped.
I don't know what it's inside. So
exactly.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting still.
Yeah, but that's going to happen then on next episode. So I'm sorry if you tuned in especially to hear that. That's a bit disappointing. But no, that's going to be episode... it's going to be episode 10 then, isn't it?
Already?
Yeah.
Really? Right.
This would be 9. So that's actually... I bought you a celebratory gift then for episode 10.
That is brilliant. Okay, now I have to get you something.
Oh, and don't forget, we need to prepare a lot for episode 10 because we need to have a lot of stuff on the number 10.
Oh, Jesus, right.
Yeah. And since it can't be a 10-minute episode, it needs to be a 10-hour episode. So no.
Okay.
So yeah, we have the returning features today as well. What features do we have again, Tom?
We have Say What?
Say What?
And how was your week, darling?
How was your week, darling?
Exactly, also coming back. Yeah.
Okay. And of course, you picked this topic actually, not social media, long-distance relationships.
Exactly, yeah.
So... let's say today is, by the way, it's the 10th of February.
The day we're recording it is. The 10th,
so it's a Wednesday, right?
It's a Wednesday. I think we've never recorded on a Wednesday.
Never.
This is the first as well.
Yeah.
So it is early afternoon, you could say. Outside there's blue sky and snow at my place.
My place is, as usual, grey sky and no snow.
Well, I thought you're in the Netherlands, not in England.
It's the same.
It's the same. Also,
they have the same quality of the weather.
Okay, crappy weather.
And I like it. I can see the neighbor's house and they have solar panels. And that really makes such a difference. Because the sky is really grey and then you just see the solar panels. So you think,
I guess they maybe that doesn't work that well. But you have nice summers sometimes, like every other summer, maybe.
Well, I think people are a bit exaggerated when it comes to the weather. It's,
Yeah.
They tend to notice the negative and not the positive.
That's true. So long distance relationships. Do you have experiences when it comes to that?
I think quite a bit. I think maybe more than average. I think my first relationship was my only real close distance relationship, and of course in the Netherlands. If you live 1.5 hours away from each other, that's already long distance.
Because it's such a small country.
Yeah, but also, of course, a long distance relationship in essence means that you don't live in the same house. And when you're a student, it's very natural that basically you have a long distance relationship.
But is that what you would call a long distance relationship? Because I think then basically every relationship, as long as you're not living together, is a long distance relationship.
No, it could be that you live in the same village. And if you can cycle for 10 minutes or drive for half an hour, I wouldn't say it's a long distance relationship. But if you have to plan your travel,
Yeah.
And if you have to make sure that you stay for a night or at least 2 days for it to be worth it to go there, then I think it's a long distance relationship. And I had that when I had a lovely girlfriend in the west of the country. I needed to travel, I think, 2.5 hours to get to her place.
Okay.
So there's nothing you do on one day, because then you lose 5 hours to traveling.
Yeah, that's true.
But on the other hand, I've also had a relationship with someone in the east, and I do mean the east of Europe.
Wow. Okay.
The northeast. So that's.
I'm now saying wow. Okay, sounding like I didn't know, but I knew.
Yeah, of course, but that's radio. I mean,
that's radio.
She lives about 1,800 kilometers away.
Okay.
So we're still good friends, but we dated for, I think, 9 months. And before that, we already knew each other for 2 years via the internet.
Uh-huh.
And we knew it clicked. But in those 9 months, I think we saw each other maybe 10, 11 times.
Yeah.
So that's really difficult. Mostly longer times on end. It was very intense and very beautiful. But of course, it's a long distance relationship. So it definitely has its difficulties.
That is definitely very long distance. Yeah.
Do you think you can make it work? Or is it just is it your sex lines? Is that your long distance relationships?
Jesus Christ. Where did that come from? You know, the thing is that they're now talking about like I wanted to make a similar joke earlier, but I thought it is 2:45. You can't make these jokes while it's still bright daylight outside. But
why not? we can't control when people are listening to these.
That's true, but it just felt wrong. But yeah, I mean, sex lines definitely long distance, especially some of them are already in Poland or Ukraine, and you don't know who you're calling. So yeah. Definitely.
It could be your mum.
I'm sorry, what? I'm pretending that the Skype quality was not good enough to transfer the word you've just used.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're it's tell me.
Well, I want to say yes, well, but my ear basically is gone.
That's going to be so annoying for people listening. The worst thing is if it's going to happen for real, then
Yeah, that's going to be funny then. No, but the thing is that my experience with long distance is not the best necessarily.
You have experience with long distance relationships?
Kind of, yeah. Well, I started something when I was in Germany for a couple of weeks while I was actually living and studying in England at the time. And that didn't turn out to be the most brilliant idea. So that was actually quite terrible.
And how long did you study in England at that time? I mean, how long were you in England for during that relationship?
I think still most of the time, I think, because that was that Easter break. I think that was Easter break, yeah, and I think I was still in England until end of June, early July.
So that's a couple of months.
That's a couple of months, yeah. She came to visit me, but that didn't help, really.
Well, especially in the beginning of a relationship, of course, that's quite difficult.
Yeah, that is exactly, because I think going on a holiday is always kind of a test for a relationship. And so basically starting out on a holiday, spending 24/7 together is not always the wisest idea. So, but that's not necessarily a problem with long distance. Actually, the long distance thing actually worked quite well. So we watched films together via Skype and all that crazy shit. But
that's actually quite interesting. I've never done that.
That's actually quite funny. So
I've done that with, actually I have. But not in that relationship.
Yeah,
but my current girlfriend, of course, she's I'm living with her, but we had we travel a lot.
Sometimes you sit in the living room and she sits upstairs.
No.
Stand each other. This was his film. This was a movie on Skype.
Yeah, exactly. No. But I meant to say that we travel a lot and we're very often in different countries, and we did that once at. We wanted to watch a series together. I think we wanted to watch Futurama together. If you don't know it, I can highly recommend it. But we watched basically on the television in our living room. She just turned around the laptop that I could see as well. And of course I could switch on the episode at home, but it makes it so much more real that the laptop was sitting next to her and we both see it exactly the same time and laughing at the same stupid thing. And once in a while she looked at the laptop to see me and go like, something.
We didn't do that. I think it was a movie that was on YouTube as well. What's that film called? It's an older one, Educating Rita.
I've never heard of it.
Is that no? It's actually a very funny movie, especially for people interested in the English language. So we watched that, and the film was on YouTube. So we simultaneously clicked on play. and took it from there.
That's actually quite brilliant.
Yeah, worked.
I mean, yeah, that is fun, yeah. But I think it wasn't possible for me because I had to use my phone to Skype.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't on a computer, so... but since, it's amazing that, you can now use these technologies. I mean...
There's actually very, very weird technology because the biggest problem of long-distance relationship, obviously,
is physical.
Is the physical, exactly.
Yeah.
So having sex is a little bit more difficult. So I think that the classic way is good old style sex, sitting in front of your webcam and...
I was prepared for you starting a topic on having such a mold made out of your girlfriend's vagina. Oh, you're still going there, okay.
I'm not exactly going there, but I'm going to, some place. And so I think that's the classic way that probably all of us have done in their lives, maybe. Well, let's say our generation. And
I think you kind of overestimate that. I think a lot of people haven't.
No?
I think not, no.
Okay, well, then maybe not, but let's say some of them might have experienced that in their lives. But a couple of years back, when the smartphones came out, something surfaced, and that was sex toys that you could kind of,
shape.
Have someone? No. Yeah, that's an old hat, as we say in German, an alter Hut. But no, the thing is that you have sex toys like a dildo or a fake vagina that you can make it move and adjust from a mobile phone. So that's one thing.
Oh, so the other person controls the vibration, the intensity, and everything.
Yes, that's.
Have you ever tried that?
No.
Okay, I mean, me neither. But I was just interested.
The other thing, and that's. I think that's.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I do know a lot about it because I researched that because I was interested in,
Well, yeah, of course.
That thing, yeah. Well, men and sex, it goes together. So anyways, and the other thing is, and I think that's absolutely brilliant, and the people inventing it, I think they made a lot of money with that, is basically what you have is a dildo that can measure that sounds really weird. The movements of the vagina. So if it's contracting or something like that, because if you're having sex, it is moving all the time. It's not just moving is one word, but it does stuff, right? And so it measures that and transfers it via Wi-Fi to the fake vagina that the man is using.
Yeah.
And
so
it basically the fake vagina then makes the same movements.
So apart from the fact that it being rubber and not feeling at all similar, it feels kind of similar.
Exactly.
Well, it should feel kind of similar.
It goes the other way around. So
I would honestly want to try that out once, just for the sake of seeing, if it works or not, because I'm really skeptical of that kind of stuff.
I don't think it is probably I don't think that any of the sex toys you can compare with real life sex. That's, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. But I think if you're really, really far away, and that's the only way you don't really have a connection. Well, you have a connection via Wi-Fi. that's very, very, very 21st century. But actually, a friend of mine wanted to
It's a
try
very good thing for STDs, right? It's a very good prevention for STDs.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. If the things don't touch, you can't get STDs.
The best way of preventing STDs is start to live in another continent.
Yeah.
Did I just say continent?
Depends on the continent you're living on.
I like that we talk about long distance relationships. It's basically turned into sort of a sex toy topic. Well, whatever floats your boat, of course.
Yeah. But I think that is the problem because you don't have the physical side of a relationship.
So, that's very indeed, but that's not just the sexual part of it, but also a lot of people thinking about hugs and kisses and stuff, but it's also just the fact that you can be in the same room or just close to the vicinity. And what I was thinking about earlier is that you said she came to England, and of course it was your home for a time, but it's definitely just a timed home. It's not perpetual. It's not constant, and that makes it also that it is a bit more of a holiday. But I never had that problem because when I went to her place, the Eastern European woman, it was just what?
I'm sorry, Eastern European woman. That really sounds like she was in her 40s, 3 children, and her husband was called Mikhail or something. I don't know.
Well, she didn't have a husband, but she was. I think she was in her early 20s at that time, and but she was a woman, of course, already, and she looked like a woman, so she still looks like a woman. So I think someone just is entering now, so I'm going to mute it quickly.
Okay, so this is actually, we have prepared for that. So because Willem is it is quite busy at Will's place, and so I don't know. I'm supposed to talk. So actually, what I can do is I don't know if he's still listening, but if he doesn't, then his problem. So at this point, he will ask me how my week was. And, actually, something rather I don't know. You could say weird has happened. It was a bit confusing also. So. I now for 6-8 weeks I moved from the big city to a smaller city, and I really like it here. It is. I think,
you're talking about your stuff, and I'm back, by the way. You're talking about stuff where you live now.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think where I live now, we have about 15,000 people living here. The place where I come from, where I went to school, is
600,000.
Yeah, something like that. So it is a big difference. Yeah. And
on the other hand, I grew up, or I was born in a village with about 800 people. And then I moved rather before my teens to a village with 8,000 people or 6,000 people, and now I live in a city with 600,000.
How many people live in Brussels?
I don't know, actually.
2 million, probably.
No. I would say close to 1 million, but that's maybe. Well, I'm curious. I'm going to look it up because you were.
Well, the problem of Brussels is not the amount of people living there, but
the shite of people living there.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so anyways, so I drove back to the big city where I came from, and it has been a while. I think 4 weeks that I haven't been there, and I came down a hill basically towards the city, and I saw all the people and all the cars, and it felt so wrong and so terrible, and it was so noisy, and the people were all stressed and in a hurry. And coming back Sunday evening back to where I live now, to my small 15,000 people village, well, it's still a city, but still it feels like a village for me. It was so nice, so calm. And then you go to the shops again and people say hello. I parked my car outside my parents' house.
Complete difference, isn't it?
It is weird. I parked my car outside my parents' house. And they're not exactly our neighbors, but our neighbors' neighbors. So I know them, I know her. And she was walking her dog. And basically the dog was almost pissing against my car already. So I was getting my stuff out of my car. She was standing 2 meters away from me. She was looking at me, didn't say a thing. Then I said, hello, friendly as I am, like James May, hello. And she just looked at me like I don't know, had thrown a stone at her or something like that. She didn't say anything. She just turned around and went away. And that's something that would never happen where I live now. Here, if I go to one of the supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl, they're internationally known, hopefully. People say hello there. I mean, the people working there, they say hello. That doesn't happen in the big city.
I think you should say Aldi and Lidl if you want to speak into
Lidl.
So cheap that even the sign is falling apart.
Oh Jesus!
Anyway, but I was the Brussels, by the way, has the metropolitan area is 1.8 million, and the city itself is 1.1 million as of the 1st of January 2013. Okay. Wow. So that was me still in there in the 1.1 million.
Awesome.
And I was talking about that thing on the Eastern European woman, but what I meant to say is that, of course, if you if it's not your home country and you meet, even for studying someone, you meet someone there, it's that's different because it's on holiday. But I was always at her place and she was at my place, and then you don't have that feeling of being on holiday. That's what I
don't know. Is it necessary the feeling of being on a holiday? And I think the problem was the spending suddenly from meeting for dinner or going to see a movie, and then suddenly spending 24 hours for
5 days. Yeah, you don't have a choice. You have to have you have a few. Well, in our case, we very often had 1 or 2 months apart, and then seeing each other for about 7 days, and then again 1 or 2 months apart, because of course monetary problems and time. So that's indeed definitely a difficulty. But on a completely different topic, how was your week, darling?
Yeah, that's the thing I just did.
Oh, you did that already. Well, then I have to listen back to it, eh?
Yeah. That's the story about. No, but actually, I can tell you something else just because something came in an email corresponding actually to what we've just been talking about. So me living in England is 3.5 years ago almost now.
Is that really?
It's been a while. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, I came back 3 years ago. About 3 years ago. In some ways, 3 years. And I still, to this day, even though I closed my bank account the day I left, I still get emails every week telling me what my balance on my account is.
Was it £0?
Yeah, exactly. From the NatWest.
It's just naught.
It says 0.00 pounds every single time. And
why don't you forward it to your spam?
I sent them emails. Why is it in my spam folder? But I still get a notification. So I sent them emails, and I don't have the account anymore. Would you please stop sending me these emails? Because now they send me an email. It's good to know that your money is safe. I think it's nice to know your money is protected.
Yeah, you're £0.
Yeah, that's very good. Very, very nice to know. Your partial postcode 5HY. Yeah, that's true. Please refer to the security section in the footer of this email for information about your bank. I don't live there anymore. It is.
Yeah.
So how was your week, darling?
Fine. No, of course, my week consisted a lot of being up north, right? I mean, I traveled here last week somewhere and met a lot of friends. And interesting thing happened in the train, actually, which I've never experienced before in my life. There was a woman.
Delayed.
No, there was a woman with a baby, and of course I've experienced that before. But it wasn't rush hour, but it was really quite busy. People finding seats, but around the seats with the baby, it was completely empty. Even though the baby wasn't making too much noise, sometimes it made a bit of a sound, but not really crying, more of an enthusiastic sound. But there were Germans mostly. I think it was around the area of Darmstadt or something, or Mainz. They came in the carriage and just moved on.
Okay.
They saw there was a baby and just moved on. And of course, I just sat almost on the other side of the aisle and then bit to the back. But I thought it's completely free. It's completely nice. I mean, yeah, sometimes it made a bit of a sound, but it's not worse than people talking or anything. But it baffled me. It really did.
That's strange, yeah.
So, but apart from that, nothing really funny happened. I think. I mean, it's funny how you can travel for 500 kilometers and have the feeling that you have to get used to food again, or language again, or
Yeah.
And it's funny how to see things changed. I mean, the bus stop that I used to go home to has moved about 20 meters.
Okay.
So that felt really weird because I got off and I thought, This is different, but somehow this is exactly the same as it was, but somehow completely different. Yeah. And they had a zebra crossing all of a sudden, which used to not be there, and so that's different. But
change is quite a good topic because when I came back, and for me it was only 4 weeks, they built a house behind our house. It is just there. The basement, all that kind of stuff has been there before, but apparently it took them 4 days to build the house.
4 days?
4 days.
Jesus, that's quick.
It is one of these pre-built houses.
Well, still.
Yeah, basically just.
They shopped at IKEA.
Yeah. Yeah. All you need is one of these little Allen keys, and then you can build your house.
Exactly. For
and you get 500 pages manual with that little person in the beginning telling you that you need one other person to build it, and a rug to put the parts on so they don't get scratches.
The roof stuff. Don't put the roof on the side with a 1 point. You need to put it on the side with a 2 points.
Jesus Christ, that would be brilliant. Actually, I'm waiting for IKEA to enter the pre-built house business.
And that would be Billy as well. The only thing, from the Billy section, you get a house, just a few planks and
Jesus Christ,
a couple of nails, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you can get it in the colors white, oak brown, and black. That's it. But of course, the perfect thing about that would be that everything inside is completely catered to IKEA. So
true. Yeah.
All the rooms will just fit exactly like the cupboards.
Yeah.
Or
And
not
you don't
exactly.
have to drill these stupid holes to fix stuff against the wall. If you have a high shelf or something,
Yeah.
and it doesn't fall over, you already have holes in the wall.
But
You just need to.
When
That
you
would be brilliant.
But a house from IKEA, would it also just come without your front door, or there needs to be some parts missing, right? When the stairwell is missing.
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
And if there's only one part missing, and you go back back to the shop. And then all they do is they just open an entire complete package of a house, take one part out, and just
that's
throw the
something
rest
else.
away.
How many packages would you need
For a house?
Yeah, I mean, a cupboard is sometimes 3 packages.
Yeah, 300.
That's
probably
a bit
more.
More even, quite a bit more.
Yeah.
That's 10 cupboards you're talking about.
Packages are. Delivery is included.
Yeah, there must be.
That would be brilliant. We should call them, send them an email, and tell them they should go into pre-built house business.
Well, they're doing televisions now, I saw.
Yeah, televisions.
I don't get
they
that.
look rubbish.
They do look rubbish.
And I think they're rubbish.
I think they're quite expensive for what you get as well.
Yeah, it's probably some kind of, I don't know, Taiwanese brand or something.
Oh, that's not a problem, right? I mean, isn't Samsung Korean?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, but Taiwan, seriously, what do they do? Noodles?
GVC is Taiwanese, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think Philips is Taiwanese now as well.
Philips, I thought that's Dutch.
It was Dutch, yeah, but of course it's bought by some.
Oh, that sucks.
It's been for quite a while, so.
Okay, I didn't know.
But not every branch. I think the television branches.
Okay.
But the lamps, for example, isn't.
I think it's time for Say What, right?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
What?
Well, I found. Do you want to go first, or shall I go? Oh, you're already typing.
I'm already typing, exactly. So just for our viewers,
yeah, you're always thinking of viewers.
Yeah, I know.
You're a big picture person. Literally, picture.
So basically,
get it?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we're sending us the sentences now via Skype as well. So this is your sentence.
Oh, is that spelled correctly?
Yeah.
Jesus, that third word is sort of it looks like it's not spelled correctly.
No, and it is an actual German word.
Im dichten Fichtendicht. Oh Jesus! Im dichten Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
But what does it mean? In thick, some things are thick, some things important.
Yeah,
Im dichten
exactly.
Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig.
Yeah, Fichten is a kind of tree.
Like a fig.
Nope. Like Jesus. Not a tree with leaves, but the other one. What is it called?
Like needle tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Like pine or.
Yeah, it is not a pine, but something like that. Yeah, and dickicht just means that there's a lot of them.
Oh, like a thicket.
Yeah, exactly. Same word.
Oh,
yeah.
you have Oh, that's brilliant. I think we don't have that in Dutch.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it is a tongue twister. And
the
idea behind this is that
wichtig.
Exactly, you say it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then everything becomes ficken, and that's funny.
In dichten Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig.
Yeah.
I can't do it that quickly.
Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig.
Or quicker, say it quicker.
Im dichten Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig.
Ja,
Im dichten Fichtendickicht sind dicke Fichten wichtig. Im dicken Fichten.
Yeah, you said dicken Fichten.
Exactly. So
in Dutch you have one as well, but that's basically just saying one word over and over again. We said that as children, that you just say hex. And then, of course, if you say it over and over again, you get the word sex.
Hex. Oh, that's so
well, you're
fun.
just saying six.
Yeah.
In German. Anyway, I found something for our Say What section in our local bookshop.
Oh.
And I even took a picture of it, so I will upload it on Facebook.
Awesome.
But right now, it's just I'm going to copy the text to Skype.
Hit me.
With your stick.
Jesus.
It's not that difficult per se. It's a longer sentence again, but it's funny. I mean, to find that in a bookshop, I found it hilarious.
Gaat Joral met een good book naar bed? Of in ieder geval met iemand die gelezen heeft?
So?
God do...
It's difficult one, I think, because of meaning, per se.
Met een good book. You have to... good book with a good book to bed. So you go to bed. You rather go to bed with a good book.
Yeah.
Met iemand die erin gelezen heeft. Or something with something who has read something.
Yeah, exactly. It's especially go to bed. Especially go to bed with a good book, or in any case with someone who's read one.
Oh,
I found it quite fun.
And how do you pronounce it properly?
Gaat u vooral met een goed boek naar bed, of in ieder geval met iemand die er een gelezen heeft.
Okay, yeah, I think we just leave it at that.
Oh, it's not. I don't think it's. Yeah, maybe it's too soft for you or something.
Yeah, I don't get all that hard. Met een.
Well, the basic thing is that always if there's double vowels, it's a long sound. If it's a mostly.
Gaat u voorgaan met een goed. But why do you use G's and then make?
Why do you use a Z to pronounce it? It's just a symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't write phonetically, it's just going to be bullshit anyway.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So that
was a funny. I thought it was a funny quote to see that in a bookshop as well. Like, go to bed with someone who's read a good book.
Yeah.
So I will upload that to Facebook. So there's
I don't know. It's terrible.
There's people coming in now, so I will make this the end of our segment then. Eh?
Yeah.
Will you do the commercial quickly while I'm muted?
Okay, commercials. This show is brought to you by Sunlight, now also available for the southern parts of Germany. Have you missed Sunlight? Call us now. If you call now and order now immediately, we won't give you one, we won't give you two, we will give you 3 Sunlights for your own personal private use. Hello and welcome. My name is Rosie M. I didn't believe that sunlight could change my life, but it actually did. I bought Sunlight 2 weeks ago, and only after these 2 weeks, my skin has improved so much. Sunlight, buy it now and feel happy.
Hello, my name is Herbert. I didn't believe that sunlight could change my life, but I used it now, and I still have 2 left in the cupboard. And if I feel bad and I really need sunlight, I just open the cupboard and take one out, and it feels so much better. It's brilliant. Sunlight, we want to change your life.
That's okay. Apparently, the show is over. So this is me ending the show. Thank you so much for listening. Find us on Facebook if you want. Again, on facebook.com/The Will and Tom Show. Send us an email, thewillandtomshow@hotmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @WillandTomShow. You can find our episodes. Well, I don't think you can find the last ones, but some episodes you can find on Last.fm. Just look for The Will and Tom Show. We had a blast. It has been amazing. Will is gone. He was killed by a cat. And if you don't believe me, we will upload a picture on YouTube. So
No, we won't.
Oh, come on. So next week, join me for the Tom and Tom Show, finally. And this is when I will unpack a gift that Will give me, even though he died. This is I'm supposed he end, and it is ending. So thank you very much for listening. Have a great time. See you next week for our 10th anniversary episode.
Bye.
Bye.